When we think of cops, we usually think of them as brave men and women in uniform who work to keep our communities safe. But what is it really like to be a cop? In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the realities of being a cop, including the challenges they face, the training they go through, and the sacrifices they make. Join us as we explore the truth behind the badge and discover what it's really like to be a cop. Reality number 1: cops face high-stress situations. Being a cop is a high-stress job, as they are often called to deal with dangerous and potentially violent situations. They may have to respond to domestic disputes, confront armed suspects, and deal with natural disasters, all of which can be incredibly stressful. This high-stress environment can take a toll on their physical and mental health, and they may need to take time off to recuperate. Reality number 2: cops go through intense training. Becoming a cop is not easy. It requires months of training and certification. Police academy training includes physical fitness, firearms training, self-defense, and legal instruction. They also must learn about the community and different cultures, and how to deal with people from all walks of life. Reality number 3: cops put their lives on the line. Being a cop is a dangerous job, and they are at risk of injury or death on a daily basis. They may be called to deal with armed suspects, respond to active shooter situations, or deal with natural disasters. They also have to be prepared for the possibility of being physically assaulted. Cops are committed to protecting the public and are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to do so. Reality number 4: cops have to deal with the emotional toll of the job. Being a cop is not just a physically demanding job, it also takes a toll on their emotional well-being. They may have to deal with the aftermath of traumatic events, such as violence and death, and may have to cope with the emotional trauma that comes with it. They may also have to deal with the stress of being away from their families, and the emotional toll of being in a high-stress work environment. Reality number 5: cops may have to deal with discrimination and bias. Cops may have to deal with discrimination and bias from the public, based on their race, gender, religion, or sexual orientation. They may also have to deal with discrimination and bias from within the department, from their colleagues or superiors. This can make their job more difficult and may affect their ability to do their job effectively. Reality number 6: cops are not immune to the law. Cops are not above the law, and they can also be held accountable for their actions. They can be investigated, charged, and convicted of crimes, just like any other citizen. However, they may face stricter penalties than the general public because of their position of trust and authority. Reality number 7: cops have to be able to communicate effectively. Cops have to be able to communicate effectively, both verbally and in writing. They have to be able to give clear and concise instructions, and be able to write accurate and detailed reports. They may also have to communicate with people from different cultures, and may have to use interpreters to do so. Effective communication is essential for building trust and cooperation between the police and the public. Reality number 8: cops have to balance their personal and professional lives. Being a cop can be demanding and time-consuming, and it can be difficult to balance their professional and personal lives. They may have to work long hours and may be called in to work on their days off. They may also have to deal with the stress of being away from their families and loved ones. This can be challenging and can put a strain on their relationships. But it's important for cops to make time for their personal lives, whether it's spending time with family and friends, or pursuing hobbies and interests. It's a balance that they must find to maintain their well-being and relationships. Reality number 9: cops have to deal with paperwork. Being a cop also means dealing with a lot of paperwork. They have to fill out reports, file incident reports, and document evidence. This can be tedious and time-consuming, but it's an essential part of their job. The paperwork process is also an important part of the legal process, and it must be done accurately and completely. Reality number 10: cops have to make split-second decisions. Cops are often put in situations where they have to make quick decisions. They may have to decide whether to use force, how much force to use, or whether to make an arrest. These decisions can be life or death situations, and they must be made quickly and correctly. Cops are trained to make these decisions, but it can still be a difficult and stressful part of their job. Reality number 11: cops must have knowledge of the law. Being a cop requires a deep understanding of the law, as they are responsible for enforcing it. They must be familiar with the criminal code, the Constitution, and the legal procedures that govern their actions. They must also stay up to date with any changes in the law and ensure that their actions are in compliance with it. They may also have to testify in court, and their knowledge of the law is crucial in ensuring that justice is served. Reality number 12: cops have to maintain their equipment. A cop's equipment is essential for their safety and the safety of others. They have to maintain their firearms, body armor, and other equipment to ensure that they are in good working order. They also have to train with their equipment to ensure they are proficient with its use. This can be time-consuming and costly, but it's necessary to ensure their safety and effectiveness on the job. Reality number 13: cops have to maintain good community relations. Cops must maintain good relations with the community they serve. They have to be able to communicate effectively with the public, understand their needs, and build trust. They must also be able to identify and address issues that may be causing tension between the community and the police. This can be a difficult and challenging task, but it's important for maintaining peace and security in the community. Reality number 14: cops have to deal with the public's negative perception. Despite their best efforts, cops may still have to deal with negative perceptions from the public. They may be criticized, demonized, or even falsely accused of wrongdoing. This can be difficult to deal with and can affect their mental health and well-being. Cops must have a thick skin and be able to handle criticism and negative perceptions, but it's important for the public to understand that not all cops are the same and not all are guilty of misconduct. Reality number 15: cops may experience post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Cops are often exposed to traumatic events such as violence, death, and natural disasters, and this can take a toll on their mental health. They may develop post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, which can cause symptoms such as anxiety, depression, and nightmares. This can affect their personal lives, as well as their ability to do their job effectively. Cops are often provided with support and resources to help them cope with PTSD, but it's important to remember that it's a serious issue that can have a lasting impact on their lives. Reality number 16: cops must work with other agencies. Being a cop also means working with other agencies, such as the FBI, DEA, and other local, state, and federal agencies. They may have to coordinate investigations, share information, and collaborate on cases. This can be challenging and requires effective communication and teamwork. This can also be challenging as different agencies may have different protocols and procedures, which can lead to confusion and frustration. Reality number 17: cops may face disciplinary action. Cops may face disciplinary action for misconduct, such as using excessive force, discrimination, or violating department policies. They may be suspended, demoted, or even terminated from their job. This can be a difficult and stressful process, and it's important for cops to understand their rights and the disciplinary process. It's also important for the public to understand that most cops are honest and professional, and that disciplinary action is taken to ensure that they are held accountable for their actions. Reality number 18: cops have to deal with the constant threat of being sued. Cops also have to deal with the threat of being sued for their actions, whether it's for using excessive force, wrongful arrest, or other legal violations. They may have to defend themselves in court, which can be a stressful and time-consuming process. This can also be a costly process, as they may have to pay for legal representation. In conclusion, being a cop is a challenging and demanding job. It requires dealing with traumatic events, PTSD, working with other agencies, facing disciplinary action, and dealing with the threat of being sued. It's a difficult job that requires courage, dedication, and a willingness to make sacrifices. Cops are committed to serving and protecting their communities, and deserve our support and respect. It's also important for the public to understand the realities of being a cop, and to remember that they are human beings who are doing their best to keep us safe. They are not just enforcers of the law, they are also mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters who have families and lives outside of their work. We must support and respect the work that they do, and remember that they are putting their lives on the line for the safety and well-being of our communities. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment letting us know what you thought. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting content like this. Thanks for watching.